Welcome back to Four Score Sports. We're here, little off week, kind of, not really. Pro Bowl week.
Yeah,
Nobody
a
cares.
little chill week.
Yeah, a little chill week. But I'm Ryan, joined with Colt,
Yo, it was good.
Keith,
Sam.
Zach,
Sir.
and Caleb.
So
No Kent this week. He'll be back next week, obviously for Super Bowl episode. We're not really going to focus that much on the Super Bowl, just because obviously Super Bowl week is next week. So we're going to go into that. But we are going to jump right into the NFL and talk about the huge news that came out last Saturday around this time that wasn't real at first, but now it is. Tom Brady retirement. This is the first time in four of the guys right now on the episode. Sorry, Keith, that we have witnessed the NFL without a quarterback named Tom Brady actively playing and not suspended. That's crazy. I'm 20 years old, almost 21. That's just insane in my opinion. Brady's the GOAT. What a guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Ryan said, and I'm kind of gonna say is kind of what all of us are feeling. Like, I mean, Tom Brady's the GOAT. There's not really any denying that. He's the greatest quarterback to ever live. The game's gonna be much different without him. He said that he kind of lets that, like, he doesn't want to have that competitive edge like 24/7, and he wants to like be a dad to his children and a husband to his absolutely gorgeous wife. So, I mean, you can't really hate on him for that. And I feel like all three of us are going to say that. So I'm going to look at it from the outlook for the rest of the league. And this is mainly for Zach and Keith, but the NFC South is wide open now. We don't know how this Bucks team is going to look next year. They have a bunch of free agents. Brady's gone. Don't know who their quarterback's going to be. Sean Payton's gone for the Saints. The Panthers are making some changes, and the Falcons are also making some changes. So the NFC South is wide open. And then if you want to take it a step further for me, Ryan, and Caleb and our Cowboys, the NFC is wide open because the Bucks were obviously a top dog up there with the Packers, and now we don't know what Rodgers is doing. So as a Cowboys fan and a competitive fan, I'm happy he's gone because it opens up that window for the Cowboys, and hopefully they can get a better shot of going to an NFC Championship game or hopefully a Super Bowl in the future. But obviously, as a football fan, I'm not necessarily a Brady fan or anything. I know a couple of you guys are, but it sucks to see him go. But yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was just thinking about like being the hater that I usually am and just like doing a thumbs up. And I don't know what happened, but the thumbs up just showed like it was like I was thinking and it showed up. But some of the game will miss Tom Brady. And it was interesting this morning. I saw a TikTok that was saying how his wife, Giselle, is that her name?
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah, all that.
Wait,
So
in the Deflate Gate, they wanted to read his text messages from him and Giselle, and he wouldn't show anyone. Like,
apparently, I don't know if Tom Brady was playing or whatever, but Giselle is into that like spiritual, like witch talk type stuff, and she was telling him like he has like an altar or something in his locker room, and she tells him what he needs to do before every game, and shit, I guess for 20 years now, or however long they've been together, it's been working for him. And honestly, like that might answer a lot as to how he's been winning by some of the crazy ways that he's won. But good for him to want to be a dad and finally just give it up. I mean, it wasn't like he was being hit and being hurt and all that stuff, but good for him to, leave on top like Mace. So have fun in your retirement, Tom Brady. Enjoy it and all that stuff. But as for the NFC South, it might be wide open, but it's still the NFC South. So we'll see what happens during the draft.
Yeah, I mean, the NFC South is definitely wide open. But as far as Tom Brady is concerned, he's the unquestioned GOAT. Whether you're a hater or not, it doesn't really matter. He's the GOAT. Whatever Giselle was trying to tell him or anything, I think she's been trying to get him to retire for several years now. I don't know whether that's just general concern. I mean, he's getting up there in age, of course, but if Giselle tells me to do something, I'm probably going to do it. I'm doing the same shit. I'm doing this. I'm dropping it. I'm the same shit. You can catch me out the league. Like, it's cool. But yeah, man, Brady, he got a bad rep. Obviously, him and like Belichick kind of like as the villains of the league. But I think especially when Brady went to Tampa, he kind of like opened up a little bit, became a little bit more fun once he kind of realized he was the GOAT.
Sosa, bro.
No, I'm saying like I don't have anything personal against Brady, but the one thing I will say, if you really want the Man in the Arena thing, the ESPN special with Tom Brady, you guys should go check that out if you're ever curious about like they did a really good job producing that. They talked to guys like Edelman and some of those old Patriots players. They provide some pretty good insight because his career was so long, man. It's hard to remember the best moments. But if you go watch that, it does a pretty good job. But all the best to the GOAT. He'll be very successful. He'll continue doing him with Giselle and his family. So good for him. Sad to see him leave, but it was time.
Yeah, it's definitely really sad to see him leave because we all know he could have played another 3, 4, 5 years at the rate he was going. On the point about Giselle, she's worth about 10 times the amount of money he is. So maybe that's why he was like, you know what, we're already making money. We ain't really got to play no more. But I hate to see him go. You know, I've been a Brady fan forever. I liked him in the New England. I cheered for him against the Giants like way back. So, you know, he's the GOAT. You don't know how much I love LeBron. Brady's the GOAT of sports. I don't give a fuck. Brady's number one.
And, you know, speaking of Brady's retirement, unironically enough, today's the 5-year anniversary, recording this on Saturday, of the Falcons going to the Super Bowl and playing the Patriots.
They kicked ass in that first half.
Next, obviously, big news this week. Washington football team officially changed their name to the Washington Commanders. And my biggest question is, one, do you guys like this name? And two, if you had to change it, please, what are you changing it to?
And I'm not gonna lie, like you know those videos, like the little teasers, they were saying, "Oh, those uniforms are hard." I don't know if it was just me, but I swear those uniforms just look like red and yellow versions of Army's current uniforms, and it's kind of like very militaristic. I mean, Commanders in DC and got the little Army print or whatever. I'm not rocking with it. Initially I thought they were going with red tails. Quite honestly, I think Washington football team could have stuck. I mean, I was rocking with it, but you know, they did what they did. I don't know who voted on it, but
my biggest thing is like all this shit that I'm seeing, that all the merch that you can buy, it's ugly as hell, man. Like the Commanders, where the bottom half, like right here, is red, and then it's yellow, and then their logo is just that little like block W kind
it's
of.
like a circle with the words around
That's
it.
the other logo. They have 2 logos.
I don't like them. Change it to the red.
I like the little
Okay.
black W, low key. Now they took them 2 years and all these like very rich, influential people to come up with Commanders.
It literally
They
looks like
could've done a lot
Microsoft
better.
Word, bro. I swear.
They could have done so much better. And the jerseys, the black jerseys they have, they're fire. But they got that damn W on their forehead. It's ugly as fuck.
They dropped the ball. This is not. I mean, maybe it's one of those things, just like the Washington football team, where it grows on us. But the Washington football team stuff was so like minimalist. That's like, you know what? I can appreciate this. It's a yellow W. That's it. It was, you know, it stuck fairly true to what you know, the colors they had and all that stuff. And it just had a W on the side, and I got used to it. But I guess they figured it wasn't, I don't know, patriotic or something enough. Didn't really represent DC enough. So
Well, now they're going to be called the Washington Commies as a nickname. So that's another bit.
I have seen the Washington Commies. I have seen that.
Yes.
My favorite thing are all these middle-aged, 40-year-old, 50-year-old men saying, I'm a Redskins
On
fan,
Facebook.
as they've been pulling for the football team for the last 2 years. I'm only a Redskins fan. Shut the hell up. Your team sucks, and it has sucked your whole life, like, and my whole life. And
their whole life.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that.
oh, sorry, they won one
suck.
Super
They
Bowl in
suck.
1986. My bad. That matters because we know how important past Super Bowls are, right?
Make them a terrible team, though.
Name a good
way back.
Redskins team. RG3 was the last one, bro. RG3 that 1 year was the last time they were like significantly better than any other team in the division, and it still took them till the last. Don't want to.
Felt like they've been like trashed the whole time since their last Super Bowl.
They were good when we were good, you know, in like the 90s and the 70s.
Doesn't matter. They weren't the best.
No.
They're like a historic franchise, but they're poverty now. You look at their stadium, all the memes about their stadium. They're horrible.
When is the Redskins' last Super Bowl appearance? Just literally out of curiosity. Probably the 80s or 90s.
I think it was late 80s. I want to say it was late 80s.
Oh, well, speaking of Super Bowl, that happens this week. Obviously, not going to talk about it, but we are going to talk about the other games from last week. Let's start on the NFC. Let's go NFC side. So we have 49ers and Rams. What did you guys see in that game? What are you thinking? Somebody talk to me. Odell was not the problem.
Jimmy G choked.
Backwards pass.
Odell is wide receiver 1 for that team. I'm sorry to all of you analytical nerds who Cooper Cup is this, Cooper Cup is that. Cooper Cup is not from him university like Odell is. Me and Odell, we actually deferred Mr. Cup's application. Yeah, so no, in all seriousness, Odell, like you guys know, I'm an Odell fan. I mean, that's no secret. It's my favorite wide receiver in the league. He had his first 100-yard game in like so many games. So that honestly made me so happy. I've been seeing all of these post-game footages of him after the game, like just running around like a little ass kid, hugging his mom, jumping up and down, hugging his girlfriend, his best friend. And that's honestly like I know that I can't watch Dallas go to the Super Bowl, but like just watching that, and I know it sounds stupid because he terrorized Dallas for years. The catch, the greatest catch of all time, it was on Brandon Carr, it was on Dallas, but like it honestly gave me chills and like got me a little emotional because like this dude has been through so much between injuries, between telling him he's the problem, between him going from shitty situation to city situation. Like
expectations have always been insanely high.
The media, and then since that insanely high, it's just been overrated, like downing him, this, that, he's the problem. And just seeing him like just let loose, like knowing he's probably not the guy he was when he was in New York. He's wide receiver 2 to a top 2 wide receiver in the league. But I would say right now he's playing like a top 20 wide receiver. I don't think that that's too far out of the realm for me to say. He's absolutely balling. And just seeing him go to the Super Bowl, it honestly made me so happy. Just the sheer emotion of just hugging his teammates, smiling the entire time. I know you guys probably don't really care that much, but me being an Odell fan, that's what I took away from it. And it just made me honestly so happy and excited for him.
Yeah. And it's not Odell. It's more like Matt Stafford. He's going to the Super Bowl.
That's another one.
We have all watched Matthew Stafford play his ass off. Ever since us four at least have started watching football, we've watched Matt Stafford do amazing things against our team and fucking just be shut out by his own defense or something like that. Just not having any chance whatsoever because he just necessarily didn't have all the weapons around the organization, whether that be coaching, whether that be on the defensive side of the ball, whether that be whatever. Obviously, he had Megatron. He had Golden Tate at one point. They were good. Kenny Galladay was all right, but like, let's really think. Like Matt Stafford, he was so excited. I remember seeing him and his wife after the game. They were really excited. I don't know, that's just really cool to see like these guys that we've watched finally get there. And honestly, it's not another Brady Super Bowl, and like it's not Rodgers. And you see all those memes where it's like this is the first time in X amount of years that the Super Bowl hasn't had, who is it? It's Brady, Manning, Roethlisberger, and someone else. I can't remember. They're like Joe Flacco or something.
I think the 49ers.
49ers, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Mahomes. So it's good. It's good to see the Rams win. Good for those guys that finally getting there. Ramsey again.
I like Ramsey.
No,
Yeah.
I'm on the
Ramsey's first
completely.
one. Or was he on that?
No,
other team?
they lost in the
He was
AFC
on the-
He was in
he was on the-
Jackson.
Brady. They lost to Brady in the
Was he on
AFC
that Rams
Championship.
team, though?
Yeah, with the Jags.
No, he was on
Freshman
Jacksonville.
year of college, or
I don't think he was on that team.
Okay.
I don't think
he
was
got
on that
traded.
He
team.
went to the next year.
No, because on that team they had Marcus Peters. They had Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib on that team. They didn't have Ramsey.
Yeah, I remember Ramsey got traded. I was walking to Fountain Dining Hall. I was like, "Holy shit!"
I'm
Because
on
that was
the,
the year Amari Cooper killed Marcus Peters in that playoff game. Shout out to Amari Cooper. But
Was that shit this year, man?
I'll say this, and then I'll just kick it to the next person, or if you guys want to move on, we can. That game, because I watched it with my boys from start to finish. That game also reminded me that Aaron Donald is the best player in football. You can double team him, you can triple team him. I don't care what you do. He's going to find a way to get into the backfield. and make a play, whether that's sacking the quarterback, getting a tackle for loss, tipping the ball, whatever it is. I don't know, man. And then he's gonna talk his shit unless you hear about it. And what are you gonna do about it? He's coming the very next play. So I know that everybody like knows he's the best defensive player in the football. That just kind of reminded me like, hey, this guy he's the real deal. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer. He's the best player in football.
Yeah, Aaron Donald absolutely is. I'm going.
I didn't say shit. Let me say whatever I had to say. No, I was just saying it's just cool to see Matt Stafford in the Super Bowl now. I'm almost positive. I know people were talking about how Andrew Luck was like pissing blood for an entire season. I'm almost positive like Matt Stafford has not stopped pissing blood since he moved to he stopped when he moved to LA. So it's good to see him finally in this position. After all that he's been through, like Odell's been a lot. And plus, I think him about to be a father, that's turned him into a different animal. Like he's going crazy. It's like he never left. And like this baby, they put a new fire in him. And then also him being in LA and being happy in general. So it's gonna be a scary sight for the game.
I gotta understand how ADHD work because I would literally forget the shit I'm trying to say. Y'all let me go last every time. But I'm on the complete other side of the spectrum. I don't fuck with anybody on the Rams. Jalen Ramsey's good, Donald's good, Stafford's doing decent. I don't fuck with anybody on that team. I hope they lose.
And I think for obvious reasons, we kind of some of us at least want to see the Bengals win. We'll probably get into that more next week. But the Rams, for all that talent they have, they just don't really seem to play up to it. I mean, they're winning games they've got here, fair enough. Odell being a target on the boundary. Kupp does a lot of his work over the middle. So Odell coming in and getting actual reps probably with Stafford. Now he looks comfortable. He went over 100. He looks really good. Kupp down the middle is a problem. I think Higbee's coming back, I'm pretty sure. So, that offense is pretty good, and that defense is also very talented. They brought in Von Miller. They're really trying to win it this year. They're there. They have a chance. I wouldn't really mind seeing, of course, I'm a Stafford guy. I think that he was solid in Detroit. Odell, it's hard not to root for those guys, but it should be a good game. They love to play close games, but that team is talented, man. The Rams, it's good for them to get there. It's hard to even hate McVay, too. So it should be a good time. Should be a good game.
Other side, obviously, we have Bengals Chiefs. Shout out Joe Shiesty. And if you guys bought a Joe Shiesty shirt, they'll be here in a few days. So if you are in the Raleigh area and can meet me in person, you will have your shirt for the Super Bowl. Also, what's his name? McPherson. He's gross, buddy. He's made like 9 game-winning kicks in 3 playoff games. Go Bengals.
Evan McPherson is about to break. He has a chance to break Vinatieri's single-season field goal record. He needs 3 to break it. He needs 2 to tie it in the Super Bowl. So,
not happening. Only touchdowns.
So I'll be quick on this. I don't really have much to say. We all watched the game. My boy. There's no other way around it. He choked. He didn't play a very good second half. There's no way around it. I think Cincinnati did a good job of mixing up their coverages. Mahomes all year, if you go and watch the tape all year, he is used to seeing a 2 deep safety look because everybody doesn't want to get beat over the top by guys like Hardman and Hill. And credit to Cincinnati for switching that up. And I couldn't tell you the last time Mahomes has probably seen a consistent one safety back defense because guys are just scared they're going to beat him deep. So credit to Cincinnati for switching it up. Mahomes didn't look like Mahomes in the second half. He looked amazing in the first half. God, I thought they were going to run away with it. I think we all did. But shout out to Mahomes on a great year. I'm still rocking with my boy no matter what. Still a top 1 quarterback in the league, but obviously sucks. But first year, like Ryan was saying, it's good to see Burrow and Stafford. It'll be a different Super Bowl. It's not Mahomes again. Even Mahomes has been in the league for like 2 or 3 years. We're starting to see Mahomes. So it's a little different, which is good.
It's a very likable. It's hard not to like these teams in the Super Bowl this year, I think.
Yeah, I saw a graphic. It was like you win either way. If Stafford gets a ring, hey, Stafford gets a ring. If Burrow gets a ring, you know how everybody is. Yeah, everybody's on the Bengals right now. So, I don't really have much to say. The Bengals look good. Shout out to the Bengals. But yeah, I think the Chiefs will be back for sure. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. I think any team with Mahomes, I don't care what they have on the outside, I don't care what the coaching staff is, they're going to compete. But that's all I'll say about that.
I'm so glad you touched on Mahomes choking.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't look good. I mean, there's no other way around it. I mean, there's nothing else for me to say about that. He just definitely didn't look good.
Well, see, I was in the group chat, letting everybody know how bad he was, and I got laughed at basically. But the Bengals defense, they did a whole lot of second half. He was a bum. He looked awful. He looked like Sam Darnold out there in the second half. But
Damn.
that defense coordinator is a genius. I've never seen anybody start dropping 8 into coverage, like dropping DNs out into spies. Sam Hubbard did that a couple of times. He did a really good job in that defense. Hendrickson did a whole lot. He's a monster. He was hurt, and you could tell he did a whole lot on the edge. So shout out to Bengals. I'm rocking with the Bengals.
So if that's Zach, you want to hit it, or
I mean, I can say a little bit. I mean, of course, like the narrative that Mahomes choked, I would just rather give credit to the Bengals. I know Colt mentioned kind of what they did in the secondary, and I like what Caleb mentioned as well. They started doing a lot of like 3-man fronts. Because even with 4 or 5 blitzing Mahomes, it doesn't work, Ben. He moves too well in the pocket. Even with pressure, he just gets out of there. So I honestly just like the 3-man rush. Hendrickson was still getting it done. I mean, their D-line deserves all the credit in the world. Their offense just fell flat, and there's not really much else to say. Good scheme changes in the locker room by Cincinnati, and Joe Burrow's a winner right now. It's hard to argue. Everyone wants to meat ride the Bengals so hard right now, bro. Like I'm that's not me. I think Joe Burrow's a winner.
Thank you, Jesus.
I think Joe Burrow's a winner. Like, there's no reason to dislike Joe Burrow. I'm not gonna sit here and dislike the Bengals.
Right.
I'm saying like the wave is like, why should I like Joe Burrow more than Matt Stafford? Like, why should I want him to win a Super Bowl more than Matt Stafford? I mean, there's no real
cigar at LSU, and it was really
cool. Like he smoked a cigar and has his little college wide receiver. Like, okay,
and he's got a cool T-shirt for Florida Score.
Stafford fucking suffered in Detroit for 8 years. Like, let's go get him one. But yeah, man, I love the Bengals. I mean, they look good. I'm not gonna hate on them or anything, but it should be a fun one. I think it should be fun. Joe Burrow's a winner, man. He's a real deal.
Yeah, this is the Super Bowl this year will be one like that'll be worth watching just because like I'm not invested in it at all. Zach had a point. Like everybody loves the Bengals, but it's like one of those hard to dislike things, like the Jonas Brothers. Like you can't dislike them because
what?
Next.
Okay, so also
Keith's a little older than we are.
NBA.
Next. James Harden might be traded for Ben Simmons. Personally, I wouldn't trade James Harden. I like James Harden, and no matter what, if James Harden wants out, he wants to stay, whatever he wants to do. No matter what, he is going to have a guy that's averaging 30 points a game above him on the depth chart. I mean, I don't necessarily see how James Harden helps out Philly as much. I think they've got a good system.
Ben Simmons ain't helping Philly out.
That's where I'm going to disagree. You put James Harden on Philadelphia, I'm taking them to the finals.
Exactly.
I'm taking them to the finals.
Exactly.
I don't know what you have to throw into a package.
Ben Simmons
is already not playing, right? Joel Embiid is my MVP right now. Joel Embiid is playing his ass off. Averaging like 36 or some shit in his last 10. Then you throw that with, I don't know who they're going to have to get up. Let's say a hypothetical passes. Let's say they give up Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and some picks or whatever. You still have Maxey. You still have guys like Thibault. And then you add James Harden to that. James Harden's not going to make a team worse. Ben Simmons is already not playing, and they're doing what they do. If I was the Nets, I would maybe look to trade him because I don't think he's going to come back in the offseason. Between the Brooklyn landscape, him not liking him, between him not being on the Nets, I would look to trade him maybe. I don't know if Simmons is the answer for Brooklyn. I don't know how that would work with Kyrie and KD, but I would definitely look to, and I think that if you add Harden to Joel Embiid, I think that duo right there, I'm definitely taking them to the finals. I definitely am.
Well, the good thing about the Kyrie situation is Ben Simmons can play point at home games, and then Kyrie can play point in all the away games where he can actually play. And Ben just have to slide to 4 when Kyrie's there. So I think it'll work just fine for both teams, honestly. You put Joel Embiid and James Harden together, that's crazy.
I
That
don't
is
like the
crazy.
idea
That's gonna be
of
scary.
trading James Harden away from your team that's in win now mode. You know what I mean? That just doesn't sound smart in my head.
The
they
Nets are
wanna win,
dysfunctional
like-
right now. They are absolutely dysfunctional. They've lost 7 straight now. With Kyrie on the road, and then obviously can't play at home, and then with Harden. I know Katie's not playing, but a team with Kyrie and Harden should be able to get some wins on the road, not lose 7 straight. So I don't know. I don't think that the Nets win this year if they keep Harden. If I'm the GM, I'd rather get something for Harden rather than him just leaving free agency. But that's just me.
That's fair.
But that's just how I look at it.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can just say like one quick piece. I think what it really comes down to for the Nets, if they do move Harden, they must get either Maxey or Thibault instead of Harris. They cannot take Harris's contract. So
Yeah.
if they get Simmons and one of either Maxey or Thibault, I think they win that trade. And I think Simmons is solid defensively. He can do a lot more for your team, probably on both ends of the court. Not offensively, of course, but
No, hell no.
no. They're basically polar opposite players, but yeah, I think if they can get one of those younger guys, they win that trade. But that'd be the only way I ever consider that.
I think that that's funny because I actually saw a report this morning. This is the last I'll say about it. That 76ers is not moving Maxey in any deal. So that's interesting.
shouldn't.
If I'm trading Harden,
shouldn't.
I'm like you. I would 100% want Maxey back. That's just me.
You want one of those guys, absolutely.
Yeah. Also, Keith, you have something?
No.
No. All right. So also, it's Saturday. It's one of those Saturdays, college Saturdays. UNC plays Duke. Obviously, that is a huge matchup in this area.
Huge.
I just want to know real quick. It's Hubert Davis's first time in this rivalry as the head coach, I believe. Maybe he was in there when Roy had
In the Dean Dome.
In the Dean Dome, going against Coach K. It's his last one in Carolina,
In the Dean Dome, yeah.
In Dean Dome.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know, who do you guys have and why? And obviously, this game rankings, past shit.
That shit does
whatever,
not matter.
That does not matter.
It does not matter.
Who fucking wins?
It does
Carolina
not
or
matter.
Duke?
I'll say this, because I'm in a group chat with some of my guys for fantasy football. If you're not in North Carolina and you just know that we're rivals or whatever, if you don't know, this is the best rivalry in sports. I don't care what nobody says. In all of sports, right
Professional,
now,
collegiate, high school.
Duke, Carolina, like the hatred, I won't talk to a Carolina fan today. This is just how this shit goes. With that being said, I'm rocking with my boys. Hey, I'm rocking with my boys. Paulo, Trevor, Wendell, AJ. Hey, we coming into D-Dome and we giving an ass whooping today. All that shit about how all the games are. No, fuck that. This is where shit changes. Coach K's last year, we're going in there, getting a fat dub. And then I'm going to Duke tonight with my Duke shit on, and I'm turning up. Give me Duke by 20.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Carolina. Give me, it's not your Mondo. It's not my Mondo. It's our Mondo. Yeah, he's going to drop like 25, 15 tonight.
Okay, if you say so. If you say so.
Give me Carolina.
Oh, I want to know where all that enthusiasm was. Last
Okay,
week.
so
State
so
played.
my friends asked me about it because I wear my Duke shit. I grew up a Duke fan. Just because I came to NC State does not mean I'm gonna stop my love for Duke. So I'm always gonna be a Duke fan.
Sounds fake as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie. I ain't y'all for that.
Go Blue Devils.
I'm the only Carolina fan in the group. Obviously, all these guys went to state or at state. So obviously, giving the Carolina Tar Heels, it's gonna be a beatdown, very similar to what we did to the NC State Wolfpack. Slap the fucking bag on them. So we're gonna go ahead and go Tar Heels.
Remember that one time where NC State beat UNC twice in women's basketball? The actually only basketball I care about at this school. In our small gym, our little gym, there was a little
Little
ass
gym.
beating by a slight 40 points.
Look, y'all know I'm the state women's basketball. That's the only state team I cheer for.
Fahrenheit. Fair enough. Yeah. You guys care about UNC Duke, the game prediction? No? Yes?
Nah.
No.
I'm gonna watch. I mean, as a North Carolina native, you
Yeah.
can't not be invested. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the UNC guards. Obviously, I'm not really a fan of either of these teams. I can't really actually stand either of them, but yeah, I love what's his name? The other guy. There's obviously Davis for Carolina, but
Caleb Love.
I forget what the other guard's name is.
Caleb
They're not
Love.
terrible. It'll be interesting matchup.
RJ Davis.
Yeah, that's right, Caleb Love.
Irvin
Yeah, I
Love.
mean they're not terrible, but it's always a fun matchup down there on Tobacco Road. So should tune in for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's nothing else on, but I guess it's a significant game. So I'll watch. But I can't even lie to you, bro. Like, I haven't even been watching ACC basketball as much as I used to. So hopefully both teams have fun and all that shit, you know?
But yeah. I think for the most part, we're gonna end it there. You know, quick little Saturday, little Saturday Pro Bowl week. It's an off week. It's a fun week. Before we go, I would personally like to say thank you guys so much for listening. Anyone that did buy a Joe Burrow T-shirt helped us out. You guys, we appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. I love you. Have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you guys for the Super Bowl week.
Yeah, I'll just lose my 30 seconds to just kind of endorse my guys in the NBA since that's what's going on now. Use Anthony Edwards as Draymond's injury replacement. Please get that man in the All-Star game. Go Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels for the Rising Stars Challenge. And the Timberwolves are coming. We are hot right now. So go Wolves.
I'm gonna say something really quick.
Go, bro.
I was like, yeah, I'll say something.
Waiting. Caleb said he didn't like going last, so I was waiting.
Yeah, we can switch up the order, Caleb, if you want to rip, but I'll go ahead and rip now since I'm already talking. Shout out Sebastian Aho. He won the shooting contest for accuracy. I'll give him that. That's huge. The NHL All-Star game, they play later today. It should be pretty fun. If you want to check that out before the Duke game, it's on, like, it starts at 3. You'll get to see Brendan Moore and gang. But yeah, should be a nice little Saturday, some basketball.
Oh, shout out Ice Pack, by the way. Ice Pack won.
Shout out Ice Pack.
Dubs.
Yeah, it was 8-0. It was terrible. It ended up getting really ugly at the end. But you know what? It's fine. Should be a nice little weekend for basketball. Got some NHL stuff on if you're interested in that. And then we'll rip the Super Bowl next weekend.
Follow the motherfucking socials. You know, the merch is coming. Joe Burrow, Joe Sicey, merch is coming soon. Follow the socials. We love you. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, enjoy your weekend. Love on those who love you. We got Valentine's Day coming up, so again, do the same thing throughout the whole week. If you would like to know what exactly I meant about the Jonas Brothers statements, I got cut off. Hit me up on the socials, on my social, on the For the Score social. Doesn't matter where. Find me in person. It doesn't matter. I'll fully explain what I meant, and I meant what I said. As far as UNC Duke, I hope both teams fail. On God, it's packed forever. On the set forever. But besides that, I love you. Thank you for listening. And bye.
And also, you guys know Kent loves you guys too. He'll be back with a gritty for Super Bowl luck, and probably after they win too. He won't remember it. Goodbye.